Welcome back to another episode of the Adventures of a Disney Dad podcast. Matt and Chip are here, and we're going to chat all things Walt Disney World, a little bit of Epic Universe. Little Universal is going to be creeping into some future episodes. Chip and I are excited to dig into it, and we've got a little bit of news at the beginning, and then we're going to be talking about all of our favorite things. Some of the most common questions that we get from you guys as listeners are, what's your favorite park? What's your favorite resort? What's your favorite table service, quick service? We're going to talk about all of it. Chip and I are going to go through our favorite things. It's the podcast Dad's Our Favorite Things episode.
We're back.
And we look forward to hearing you guys criticize all of our favorite stuff.
Correct.
At Disney. Because Lord knows I'm probably going to criticize Chip's. He's going to criticize mine. Hopefully we'll surprise you guys a little bit. But before we get into that, we've got some big news for the podcast. I'm going to be down at Epic Universe. Universal invited me down for a preview on Sunday, so we're going to get to take all things in Epic Universe and report back to you guys on what's going on down there. I can't wait to see it, Chip.
I'm so jealous, dude. I'm pumped for you. I know you and I've texted a little bit, and I was like, but I've watched some spoilers, just seeing like what the park's all about, and there are a couple of them that, dude, I am so jealous because it is unbelievable.
I can't wait to get down there. And I've got to tell you, Chip, like preparing, my family never watched How to Train Your Dragon.
Oh, we've never either. But I'm with you. I know where you're going. So go ahead.
I'm just going to say, like, we bought the 3 movies because they're not streamable as far as I'm aware on any platforms. And we bought them a couple days ago, and I have not been able to sit down and watch them all beginning to end because that's just life with children.
For sure.
But from what I've seen, like, they're really good.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we've watched Moana 500 million times. Why have we never watched How to Train Your Dragon?
I don't know.
And the same thing applies to your family. I know that you guys have watched Trolls and, other DreamWorks movies and all these Disney Plus movies a billion times. Why have we not been on the How to Train Your Dragon bandwagon?
I don't know. Actually, I do. You know what, Matt? Now that I just looked it up, I just to see where it's streamable. It's on Max.
See, and that's like the one service we probably don't have.
It's the only one I have, actually.
Well, see, now you got to watch them.
I'm gonna have to watch them. Yeah.
It's such a weird thing, Chip, because one of the things we've talked about when we talk Universal on this podcast is like your kids really need to be like over 42 inches to enjoy the older Universal parks because it's more geared towards tweens, teens, and adults. I think the Isle of Berk might and the Super Nintendo World might make Epic Universe a great option for families.
Yeah, you're not wrong, and they're so gorgeous lands. Like the Berk looks unbelievable. The food.
One thing we know, and we can agree on, is like their dark universe is not the same as what we expect from like Villains Land and Magic Kingdom. Like my kids would be scared probably in Dark Universe.
But Dark Universe might be my favorite, just of seeing on video.
Sure.
Now Super Nintendo is going to hit all of my feels because our age group grew up with it. That was before we had the Xbox and the PlayStation, and I'm a gamer. But you're not wrong, man. I've been thinking about that too, of like just the meet and greets with the How to Train Your Dragon Toothless. It's unbelievable. It looks unreal.
And Chip, they've got the ride that I'm looking forward to most is Yoshi's Adventure. They basically have a Nintendo version of the People Mover. And I'm probably gonna be the only person at least in the early history of Epic Universe that wants to rope drop Yoshi's Adventure. Because I just can't wait to see that ride. So if you're looking forward to all things Epic Universe or you have questions, make sure that you leave them in the comments of the episode or send us an email, reach out on social media, because we're going to be digging into all things Epic Universe, and I'm going to be coming back with a bunch of information from my trip down there this weekend, and really, really looking forward to it. We're going to try and make sure we keep things spoiler-free because I'm trying to avoid spoilers. I know there's a lot of people that are going down that want to avoid them, but we're going to try and give you good information so that you can make decisions about your vacation, have the right tips without ruining anything for you. So That's really exciting. The other cool thing for anybody that's going down to Universal before it opens on May 22nd, and this applies to, I just booked it for Matt Richardson, a good friend of the podcast. If you go down there and you've got a Universal reservation, each morning they put Epic Universe preview tickets on sale for guests of the resort.
Oh,
So
really?
you don't have to be an AP holder to get a preview ticket, or like in my case, invited by Universal or whatever. You can just be a resort guest, and every morning they've got tickets for sale at your resort at the ticket desk. So it's a really cool opportunity if you
Wow.
want to try and get in on a preview.
Now, let me ask this, Matt. Is there anything that's not open right now in the previews?
So there's a couple of the restaurants that are not open. Blue Dragon is one of them
Okay.
that immediately comes to mind. And I think there's a lot of downtime for the rides. So
Yeah.
like Battle of the Ministry it seems to be the most popular ride so far. And it's had a lot of downtime. It's giving a lot of Rise of the Resistance vibes, like where sometimes things aren't working properly. And then they've also got a virtual queue for that ride. And
Okay.
it's apparently been kind of wonky during the preview process. But other than that, my understanding is everything is available. There's no nighttime show that's running, but they are running the fountains,
Yeah.
which I've heard are very cool in front of Helios. So
And
we'll see.
and one of those things, the cool things about the fountains, you and I have both been to Vegas, I believe, and the same people that did the Bellagio fountains also did these fountains. So
That's a fact I didn't know. I've seen like videos of them, and obviously the soundtracks are pretty cool. So I'm excited to see that. And we all know, like we've talked about it repeatedly, a nighttime show is like what Universal needs, like a good fireworks show that
yeah,
hits you in the feels, because that will really make it kind of like a well-rounded family park. But we'll see how it goes. We'll report back on next week's episode, and I'm like so excited. And in terms of big news, we've got big Disney news too. Before we jump
For
into
sure.
all of our favorites, 2026 vacation packages are out. And one thing that always kind of irritates me, Chip, is like when I'll see like a lot of travel agents, and I am one. So if you want me to plan your vacation, reach out, free service. The link to get a quote are going to be in the show notes. But I'll see a lot of travel agents say, "Oh, they're going to sell out, book now, da 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 da," and like that's not really the case. Like but, and I get irritated by that. But there are some dates that are already sold out. Which,
really.
yeah. So when you look at Marathon Weekend in particular, so that weekend around I think it's January 10th, 11th, 12th, like all the value resorts are gone. And it's because all the runners have booked up all the value resorts for the race weekend. So I think like the most affordable resort for that weekend is Caribbean Beach, which was kind of surprising to me that it booked up that quickly. And there's a couple other dates where like not all of the deluxe resort rooms have been released yet. So there's pretty limited availability that you'll see. And I'm sure some of that'll, come and go. But the big thing is like, if you want to book a 2026 vacation package, it's a $200 deposit, fully refundable until 31 days before your check-in date. And it lets you lock in that room now. If a discount or promotion comes out later, usually they come out 3 to 6 months in advance, then we can add that discount to your room at a later date. So you're always getting the best price. So definitely reach out if you're interested in getting a 2026 quote. Chip, I think the most interesting part of that is kids free dining for the entire year.
Yeah.
I mean, ages 3 to 9, you have to buy the adult dining plan, which is kind of I don't want to call it the hidden language or whatever, but that's the problem. Like if you only have one child between age 3 and 9 and you've got like 2 or 3 adults, you still have to think about it a little bit because you're spending the $100 plus a night for each adult just to get the $55 or whatever free for the child. But it's still, free food basically.
I will ask this, man. Is it only the standard dining plan? Does it include can it be quick service?
So I actually haven't looked at that. I've only booked the standard dining plan because it's the best value for that. But I haven't looked to see if you can do the quick service or not, to be honest with you. So I'll have to check. And obviously that information is available on our website, and I wrote the article. But I don't remember offhand. And just because, like, I don't know, I've done, a couple dozen bookings and none of them have included the quick service dining plan because everybody wants the standard.
And I will say this, as a person that is a dining plan user, when you have 2 or more kids, if if you're taking advantage of the expensive restaurants, the buffets, the character meals, it's going to be profitable. But
I mean, when you're getting, it's basically just under $60 per child is what you're getting in value for free. Plus, you get the resort refillable mugs, right? So, like Chip can find a profit, I think, on the dining plan even when it's not free, because if you plan it out right and you use the calculator on our website, you can see how much value you can get out of them. But when you're getting basically just under $60 a night for free in value, again, you have to spend the money for the adult. I think it's a no-brainer for the most part.
Yeah, and I'll tell you this: it's one of those that we tried restaurants. It makes us try things. Mm-hmm. You get a free alcoholic beverage as an adult at with your meals. So we would try things that we would never ever get, and we'll probably never get again, because it's just one of those things. And I will tell you this: the snack credits, you forget about them. Even though they it used to be 2, it's now 1. We forgot about them till the end. We're going into Magic Kingdom, going into the candy store, Goofy's candy store, and just getting stuff, loading up, because we forget about them.
One of the things that people forget about pretty frequently is that you can use the dining plan credits at any time during your vacation. So if you have a 5-night vacation and you get the regular standard dining plan, you get 5 table service credits, 5 quick service credits, 1 for each night of your vacation. If you want to use 3 table service credits the first day of your vacation, you can do that. You just want to make sure that you use all the credits before the end of your vacation. So to Chip's point, like, you got to keep an eye on your snack credits, your quick service credits, your table service credits, and make sure you're kind of maximizing it. So it's a little bit of work on the planning side of things. But, you also, like, my favorite thing about the dining plan is you go to Cinderella's Royal Table and you use 2 table service credits. You don't have to worry about what people are ordering at the end of when you get the bill. I think most people have that little bit of anxiety or stress about what that bill is going to look like, especially at some of the like nicer restaurants at Disney.
Yeah.
You don't want to get a $600 bill or whatever. So when you're on the dining plan, you have the freedom to order, what you want and not have to worry about, is this person getting a filet or is this person getting a salad or getting alcohol or not getting alcohol. And I think that can be a little bit of a stress relief. That's an added bonus for the dining plan. Don't you think so, Chip?
Yeah, it's one of those that, like, I don't care what my kids order. I don't care what my wife orders. My mom was with us last year, my stepdad, that I don't care what they order. Like, just, it's already paid for. It doesn't bother me.
Right.
The one thing that you do need to know is that tips are not included when you get the dining plan. So at sit down restaurants, they're going to bring you out and show you what the tip should be, the 18, 20%, whatever it is. And if you have parties over 6, it's automatically included. Your gratuity is,
and they just bring out the bill for just the gratuity.
And it also lists how many credits you have, so you also know how many table service. And I like we didn't do it this year, but next time we go, I think we're going to use it at a deluxe dining and use 2 credits to eat at a fancier restaurant, like whether that's California Grill or like Cinderella's Royal Table, something along that line.
And see, like, when you run the math, usually it's not a good idea to use them at those restaurants. Like, you're better off booking Chef Mickey's, for example, or Topolino's Terrace, where you get 1 credit for like an expensive character meal, and then just paying out of pocket for California Grill or Cinderella's Royal Table, or Storybrooke Dining at Artist Point. Those 2 table service credits. But, like, again, part of it goes back to, like, the math goes out the window a little bit because you just want to have it paid for already.
If you're flying in late, so say you're on the dining plan, you're flying in late, and then you have an early morning flight, that's where I would use a table service at a nice, expensive restaurant, because you're going to miss out on a day, and you're going to probably do a quick service in the morning or that evening when you land, and a quick service maybe or snacks on your flight out. So that's where I would use one of those table services, going to the nicer restaurants, whether that's, what's the steakhouse? I always forget it at Yacht Club. 71? Yachtman. No, Yachtsman's. Yachtsman's. I would use it there, something like that. Cali Grill. Grand Floridian has a couple of them that are 2 table service credits. But that's what I would do.
Yeah. I mean, we can honestly do an entire episode on maximizing the dining plan for the free kids. So maybe that's something we'll talk about in the future. If you've got dining plan tips, or you love or hate the dining plan, make sure you let us know in the comments, because I know that there's a lot of people on the internet that have pretty strong feelings about the dining plan, and I certainly disagree with most of them. But math is mathing on the dining plan. If you use the calculator, you'll see that, despite what people may think on the internet. So,
For sure.
putting that aside, let's jump into some of our favorite things at Walt Disney World. Chip, I was thinking about this a lot because Earth Day was the other day, and people ask all the time on social media, "What's your favorite park? What's your favorite park?" Or, people that will see that know that we go to Disney a lot and we talk about Disney a lot. I'll be at soccer practice and a parent will be like, "What's your favorite park?" And it's like choosing one of your favorite children, to be honest. But Chip, I'll start with you on this one. What is your favorite theme park at Disney?
So, Matt, what's funny is you said at soccer practice. So my golf partner is a big listener of the show. Our friend Max, he asks me these questions all the time. It's a thing we talk about when we're golfing. My favorite park as an adult is Epcot.
Interesting. I don't think I would have picked that for you.
And it's, Matt, it probably changed when I didn't have kids, when we were there without kids. And I enjoy people watching. It's one of my favorite things. It's not so much for the rides as much as it is for the experiences of walking around, just being able to walk around, figure out what we want to eat. As much as people do not like the fireworks show, I love the music from the fireworks show.
It's grown on me. It's on my playlist now, and it's grown on me for sure.
I don't need to ride the rides. Like, I can do Figment. I can do, I don't know, Soarin's one of my favorite rides. I can watch some of the shows in the pavilions, but just walking around, grabbing a beer and walking around is probably one of my favorite things that we've done, that I've done. It really changed probably in the last year. Epcot just has grown on me. I like the education side of it too. I like learning about it. What about you? What's your favorite?
So I realized that every morning my go-to coffee mug is, if it's available and clean, is always my Animal Kingdom coffee mug. And that's when I started to realize I think Animal Kingdom is my favorite park. And I posted about it on social media for Earth Day that I don't know what it is. Because it's not there's not a specific ride that's my favorite. Probably not even in my top 5. There's not a specific show that's my favorite. Probably, Festival of the Lion King would be up there, but it's not my favorite show. The food is fantastic, but I'm still of the opinion that the food's probably not in my top 5 either. Oh. I love going and getting a coffee at I don't know if it's Kusafiri or Kusafari, but I think it's the vibes. It's when you go there and you're walking around, it's just a fun park to hang out in. I think that's really what it comes down to for me. There's above average everything. There's good shows, good rides, good food, good drinks, good atmosphere, and there's just a lot of fun stuff to just go and wander around and look at, which is what I love. There's a lot of hidden details that you can find that even if you've been dozens of times, it's not something that you've seen before. So for me, that's what I love. And so it's probably not even close that's probably my favorite.
Now I'm going to ask you this, or I'm not really picking you apart. I would have said Hollywood Studios is your favorite. That's just me, but I don't. That's crazy.
I'm not sure which one would be second. Probably Hollywood Studios, because I just love Tower of Terror so much and Galaxy's Edge. But the problem with Hollywood Studios for me is that I hate the dining there.
Yeah.
I love Fantasmic. That's the one, downside to Animal Kingdom is there's not really a nighttime show. And honestly, I don't even care for Pandora that much because I'm not a huge Avatar guy. But
I agree with you on there. I actually I love the boat ride. I'm gonna blank. I always want to say it's Pandora, and that's not right. The
Navi River Journey.
Navi River Journey, because of the animatronic is phenomenal. I love seeing that. Other than that, I don't really care for Pandora. I'm with you.
It's just one of those things where Hollywood Studios for me, I despise the dining so much that I find myself basically either eating at ABC Commissary or eating somewhere at Woody's Lunchbox and just eating tachos or whatever. There's not really any like sit down restaurants that I typically enjoy. And the quick service to me is just not that great. Like Backlot Express and none of it really. I would rather leave and go to Epcot to eat than eat at Hollywood Studios.
Interesting. Yeah, you're not wrong. What do you think my favorite was? Just going.
If I would have guessed, I would have said Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, that's number 2. Yeah, for sure.
I thought it would be Magic Kingdom for sure because I know how much you love the rides there.
I do.
And the food. The food's great. Happily ever after. I mean,
I'm not gonna lie. I watched your vlog. I finished it. It's been a week. It's been a crazy week in my household, but I finished it yesterday. And watching your rides, I'm like, oh man, I miss Pirates of the Caribbean. Oh man, Haunted Mansion's starting to grow on me. Like I watched it. I was like, oh, I miss Magic Kingdom.
The funny thing about that, and Chip's talking about the after hours vlog that I posted on YouTube. The funny thing about that was like in the moment, I felt like I was getting so much done. And then when you look at it afterwards, you're like, I didn't get as much done as like it felt like I was getting done. So, and obviously I did that with no planning, but I still think that event is worth it. So check out that video if you don't mind. And obviously subscribe to the channel. We would really appreciate that. Chip, I want to hightail it into because we're getting kind of long. What is your favorite Disney resort?
My favorite Disney resort is Yacht Club.
Man, I'm surprised. Okay.
It probably because it's the one I've wanted to stay at more than any of them. Mm-hmm. We're probably gonna stay at Beach Club next summer, but Yacht Club is the one that just every time I walk in, it makes me smile. It makes me feel like it's the elegant place that like my grandparents would have wanted me to go. Like that, it's the place that they wanted to take me. They wanted to show it off. So
pools and the dining are awesome too. Which,
for real,
makes a huge difference.
And that's probably the biggest reason why is I want to go swim in that pool.
Yeah, for me, the easy answer would be the Polynesian. That would be the easy answer, and I think that overall that's probably my answer. But I'm going to give a secondary answer: Grand Destino Tower at Coronado Springs.
Yeah,
and like I would rather stay. Like it's priced at this point where it's like hard to justify. Like it is literally, I think sometimes even as expensive or more expensive than Animal Kingdom Lodge. And I just can't like in my mind, I can't do that to myself, but it's just got that nostalgia for my family. I love the way it smells. I love the restaurants and the dining, the transportation stinks, but like Coronado, I think on a per dollar basis is probably my favorite resort.
Yeah.
When you're talking, even if you're staying out in the ranchos or, one of the outer villages, when you look at price, I think it's probably the best resort at Disney.
Interesting.
I think we're gonna argument at least.
We're gonna do it as a family this summer. I know we're going down. We're gonna be off property for a few days, but we're gonna go spend and go get lunch there one day, just so I can. Because I've never been in there. I've never been in the tower. I've been at the old the ranchos. I've been through there, but I haven't been there since the tower.
And even those have all been renovated, right? So all those rooms are really nice, and it just gets a bad rap because it's got the bus transportation and it's kind of like further out, but it's the same distance on the bus as the rest of the resorts, in my opinion. Like it's not going to be any slower or whatever. So Coronado to me is easily the most underrated Walt Disney World resort, and I think for your money, it's the best one. So let's jump into your favorite table service meal. I'm interested to see what you think about this, Chip.
This was the hardest question you have asked, and I still don't know the correct answer, what my right answer is. I'm leaning towards Chef Art Smith's Homecoming.
I thought that might be it for you.
But I don't. But Boma's probably the correct answer. Boma's so good. The dinner is so good, and there's so much nostalgia because that was it's the first meal, like first sit down meal we had as a family was Boma, our first night when we went in 2018. That Boma's the right answer. It's the one place that we want to always go back to. Homecoming is right there at number 2 because of it's so good food.
Yeah. I think you can make the argument, and again, that's the kind of what we're doing on the podcast, that when you factor in just kind of like the overall price and what you get for your money, Boma might be the best value of a dining experience at Disney.
Yeah, and I've never had the breakfast, so I'm
The
talking
breakfast
strictly.
is what I'm referring to, because the breakfast is
And I'm strictly
phenomenal.
talking dinner because it's unique. It's an African culture food, and we're not big adventurous eaters, like, but the food there is just so good. And I will give this as Homecoming being probably Boma's my number one buffet. Homecoming's my number one sit down non-buffet table service restaurant.
That's interesting. I like those. I like those options. For me, it would be Steakhouse 71.
Okay.
Steakhouse.
You're
71.
not. That's so good too. It's value. Value is there. The value is unbelievable there.
It's such a good meal, and like there's such a good variety. Like if you're in the mood to have a really nice steak, you can get a really nice steak. If you're in the mood to have, like, in my opinion, the best burger at Disney, you can get the best burger and fries at Disney. So there's a lot of different options there. I also just love the ambiance and stuff in that restaurant. It's very nice, upscale, but it's got a lot of the historical photos of, Walt Disney World being built, and I think a lot of that's fun to just kind of walk through and look at. But overall, I think that's my favorite. Like when I go to make dining reservations for myself, that tends to be the restaurant I look at first.
Yeah,
which is kind of how I judge it. And so, but like building off of that, we also want to touch on, like, what's your favorite quick service at Walt Disney World?
Matt, there's only one answer to this. We're going back.
We might argue then.
We're going back to Disney Springs.
We may not argue then.
What am I going to say, Matt? Go ahead.
I hope you're going to say Polite Pig.
Polite Pig is the correct answer.
Polite Pig is the only answer. That's right.
There are good quick service in parks. Like there's some good options. Polite Pig is so good. Mm-hmm. It is. If they opened the table service of a Polite Pig type of restaurant, which I know there is one in Orlando.
Roundup Barbecue.
yeah, that's true. There is. Polite Pig has a sister restaurant in Orlando. Ravenous Pig, I believe is what it's called. It's a sit down restaurant, but Polite Pig's food is so good. We went there twice, and it might have been because we were staying at Saratoga, but my kids wanted it twice, and so we went there twice.
Absolutely. The mac and cheese is phenomenal. The fries are great. The salads are great too. If you're not into barbecue, oh my gosh, it's just the all around. It's the best quick service at Disney, and it's not particularly close. Like I don't think that there's anything else that comes close to Polite Pig. So if you've never been there or you've never heard of it, definitely make sure you try it. The annoying part is you have to go to Disney Springs. So like if you're not someone that's going to be planning on going to Disney Springs, that can be a little bit annoying. And that's the same reason why, like, when people ask me my favorite coffee at Disney, it's clearly the Gideon's cold brew, but going there and waiting in the line is like, it's not easy. Right. So and you don't want to tell people that. And then it, like, it'd be a hassle. And
Polite Pig has a line right when it opens.
Yeah, but there's always seating there. Like that's the other thing too, is like it looks, the line, because of the way it goes in front of the counter, and you can see them like doing the meats and stuff. Like it looks deceptively long, but then when you walk in or you look outside, there's always seating available. So it's not like you're gonna have like trouble getting typically at least getting a spot.
And when it's busy, they're like we had a group of 8 of us, and they're like, here, we got 2 of them. We pushed them together. We saw you walked in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's like, oh my gosh, that's awesome.
They're great there. What's your favorite thing? Like whether it's an upgrade or a special experience, a tour, anything like that. What's your favorite thing to splurge on, where like you're willing to spend a little bit more of your budget for it at Walt Disney World?
I think one of the things we will splurge on, a lot of times it is like we'll do the Bippity Boppity Boutique. I don't know if you want to call that a splurge. I think
I would call that one. I mean, like you're spending a couple $100 for an experience.
But it's one of those that we will do. I don't know if we'll do it till Ryland's a little bit older and her and Lennon can do it again. The splurge, though, is probably we would pay for an upgrade for a room that has a better view at times, depending on the resort. I think that would be our splurge, was we would pay for maybe like a fireworks view depending on what resort we're at. I think
And the
that would
same
be
thing
our
with like
splurge.
location too. Sometimes it's worth splurging a little bit. Like if you're at Caribbean Beach, paying up for a preferred location so that you're not, out in the boondocks, really far away from the lobby and stuff, it can be worth it. That's a good point.
Yeah. And I think, and that's really the pool. The pool is probably where I'm thinking. I'm thinking Old Key West. We stayed by right by the main pool, and that's where I would do. I don't want to be down far away from the main pool.
Saratoga sticks out to me for that reason also. Like Saratoga's huge, and you can end up being like really far from the lobby and the main pool area if you get put there.
And the positive thing about Saratoga, there are two. I would say there's two main pools. You have the one up by the carriage house, and you got the High Rock pool, and both of them have slides. And we stayed by the High Rock pool, I believe is what it's called, and it's a great. They had a refillable mug station there. They actually have a quick service restaurant right there as well.
The quick service restaurant in general at Saratoga stinks. Artist palate.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Yeah, we
My
did.
brother-in-law still jokes about how bad that was.
Yeah, we didn't get food. But it was nice that option was available in case we needed it.
And well, the thing about staying at Saratoga, not to get us too far off track here, but you don't need a quick service restaurant because you can walk to Disney Springs across the street, basically. So,
Correct.
You're not going to be eating at the resort much anyway. For me, like my favorite splurge is probably the fireworks dessert party at Magic Kingdom. And it's mainly because when you have kids, just having that benefit of not having to fight for a fireworks spot and to really, really, really enjoy the fireworks, I think is fantastic. It saves you like an extra hour and a half of not having to just stand around and hold your fireworks spot with your kids and keep them entertained. And to me, that's like almost invaluable. So that's the one splurge that I'm always like, I would spend that money on just about every trip to make sure that my family can have that experience, enjoy the fireworks one night and not have to like sit and hold spots and all that other stuff.
Can I change mine? I don't like my answer.
Change it.
My favorite splurge is if you're at a moderate and you're looking to go to a deluxe, go to a deluxe for the after hours that you get on Monday and Wednesdays.
Oh, the deluxe extended evening hours.
Deluxe extended evening hours. We try and book our stays around that because you get at Epcot, you get 2 hours, and you get Magic Kingdom 2 hours. And Epcot's it was okay. We got a couple rides.
Next week it's Animal Kingdom.
Is it?
Yeah. And that's very rare, but it is, which is kind of exciting.
But Magic Kingdom, it's unbelievable. You can get, Matt, you and I have done late night at Magic Kingdom, and we can walk on anything. Imagine that even later. And it's tough with kids at times, but I'll push the stroller and Kelly will go do a couple rides with the kids. Yeah. And they're walk on. Like we walked on Pirates 3 times.
Yeah, it's basically like getting an after hours event. And so you just have to weigh that, that price increase between the moderate resort that you're staying in and the deluxe upgrade. But a lot of times, like we said earlier, Caribbean Beach and Coronado Springs, they're priced so close to like Animal Kingdom Lodge that sometimes it's easy to justify that splurge. So that's a good one, Chip. I like that.
Yeah.
That's going to wrap it up for this week's episode. When we come back next week, I will be back off of Epic Universe, and I cannot wait.
I'm excited, dude. I'm pumped. I've already got questions that you don't know the answer to.
I don't know the answer to anything.
It's logistical side. I just want to know the logistics behind things.
I've already got some. And I've obviously had meetings with Universal and done a lot of logistics stuff with them. So I've got an idea of like how park entry and security and different areas you can go in and all that stuff, and like where we're rope dropping. I've got all that in my mind, but what it's going to look like when we get in there, what land I'm going to want to spend the most time in, like I got no idea. So when we get back, it'll be a full recap episode on everything Epic Universe. I cannot wait. Thank you guys for listening. If you could rate, and review the podcast on whatever platform you listen, we would greatly appreciate it. The link to get a free quote for me to plan your next Walt Disney World, Universal, Disney Cruise Line vacation is in the show notes. As always, we greatly appreciate everybody that listens to the show, everybody that books a trip with us. It means the world. So thank you. And we will see you next week for an epic episode.
We'll see you when we see you.